what Mr. Mulroney accomplished for us was huge. On acid rain, agreements with the 7 eastern provinces for 50% sulfur dioxide emission reductions, and then he took that case to the United States, he sold it, and we had an agreement with the US. We had an agreement to protect the ozone layer, which is kind of important because if we don't have it, we all die. The Great Lakes water quality agreements, the cleanup of the St. Lawrence River plans, the federal water policy of 1987, our substantive environmental protection legislation, the Canadian Environmental Protection Act, the Canadian Environmental Assessment Act, the first ever cleanup plan for the Sydney tar ponds, not your fault it didn't work out, that was the province. The end of commercial netting of Atlantic salmon, support for the Brundtland Commission, a huge thing moving forward globally to deal with global issues, creation of the National Roundtable on Environment and Economy, creation of the International Institute for Sustainable Development, leadership on climate change, hosting the June 1988 first major scientific conference with the very prescient name, Our Changing Atmosphere, Implications for Global Security. The Rio process with the Framework Convention on Climate Change and saving the Convention on Biodiversity. Quite personally, Mr. Mulroney, you saved the Convention on Biodiversity. Thank God for that. And also both signing and ratifying agreements within the same calendar year. In Rio, you also stood up and committed Canada to 0.7% of GNP to overseas development assistance, known as the Pearson target, now the Bono target. Thank you for that. We need to get back to it, just a little aside. The first climate target, freezing our emissions at 1990 levels to the year 2000. 8 new national parks. We've heard about South Moresby, but it was huge. Mr. Mulroney personally had to intervene, had to bring negotiations back on track, had to talk Mr. Vanders, I'm into it, and thank God for you, Tom. It wouldn't have happened without you. Oh, we also saved the Rouge Valley. Where's Pauline Browse? We got the Rouge Valley, the largest wilderness area in an urban area anywhere in Canada. Stand up, Pauline, but she is standing up. Okay. The Green Plan, $3 billion to environmental programs. It was really important. We really missed it when it was gone. The State of Environment reporting, we miss it, and now if you went back to try to recreate it, you couldn't find the science that was there that let us write it in the first place. Protection of the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, and I'm going to close on this because I sometimes think we forget this one, and it's not necessarily environmental. But I often wonder if Nelson Mandela would have died in jail if it weren't for you. You said no to Maggie Thatcher, and you said human rights mattered more than trade. I haven't heard those words in a long time. So I want to say, Mark and Ben, oh, I'm just such a mess. You can be so proud of your dad. Thank you.
Well, we are. I think we're also a little out of breath right now.